Welcome to ModbusRtuSlave for a little demonstration on data length and display formats. In ModbusRtuSlave, when you right-click on the data area here, you get the option of assigning a certain data format and also being able to define the length of the data registers. So why do we need to define the length of those registers? All Modbus registers are 16 bits. That is fixed by Modbus. But sometimes there's some values which need to be represented by something larger than 16 bits. That often happens with counters. Often you see that in something like energy meters, where the total kilowatt hours, which can be a very large number, is expressed with numbers that exceed the range of 16 bits. So to simulate that, and for that purpose, we can define that we want to see 32 bits as a single number. And when we have that here, the way that works in Modbus, it uses up 2 registers. So each register is 16 bits. If you want 32 bits, 2 consecutive registers are getting used for that. So we can just right-click and select 16 bits. Then we've got one register of 16 bits. For 32 bits, it'll be the next, the 2 registers. And if we go to 64-bit, we are ending up, this is already part of a group, so we need to take that off first and go and make it 16-bit, and then go and change it to make it a 64-bit group. And then we take into account that number of registers. Now, the way that works is if I right-click, I can see the option of 16, 32 and 64-bit. If I right-click on the next column along here, or the next row along here, you can see I only get 16 and 32-bit. What's the reason for that? The reason why is because 64-bit is not available. There is only another 2 registers, and I need a total of 4 registers. So here we would only get 3 registers, so I don't get the option of 64-bit. If I go a little bit further down and I select this row here, I get none of those options because I can only have 16-bit because there is no further registers there. So that's a little bit about how that works. And if I define, say, that one here as 64-bit, and then I want to do something on here, because now we've got that as a group, and now I try and define, say, that one here as a 32-bit, I get an error which says register 3 is already part of a register group, so I can't make that a register group here. So there's some interlocking in there, which means that we can't do the wrong thing. Another part that is very important, whilst all the other display formats that we've got available, such as hexadecimal or binary, or anything else that we've got available, octal, all those formats can be applied to one register, or they can be applied to 64-bit registers. It doesn't really matter. I get that for all of them. However, there's one limitation to this, and that's something to do with the way that float numbers are handled in Modbus. Normally a Modbus float is a 32-bit IEEE float type. So if I assign this register here, say register 3, I want to assign it as a float, that requires 2 registers. So when I go and select float on here, it automatically makes register 4 as part of that. So that float, it's a 32-bit IEEE style float, is now made up of register 3 and register 4. So I again won't be able to turn that one here into a float we can't get 32 bits here because I'm clicking on the last register. But this one here, I can turn that into a float, and that will automatically give me those 2 registers as a float. So that's something that's a little bit unique, where all the other formats can be applied to one or more data sizes, whereas float is always a 2 register size. Furthermore, if I right click here, I only get the 32-bit option. There is no, and there's a message that comes up and says float is only for 32 bits. So if I do want that register here, and let's just clear that one here, put that back to decimal, and also take away the double. If I want to do something here and I want to take that back to something like a 16-bit, I can't do it. I cannot do that until such time that I assign some other format to it, like hexadecimal, and then I've got the ability to select all the different sizes. So that's a little bit on data sizes and why this is what the full menu looks like, but sometimes you don't get that full menu, or not everything is enabled, and that depends a bit on what we've got available in the registers. I hope this helps explain how registers and register sizes and those multi-registers, how that works. A lot of modern devices, they require more than 16-bit, and that's normally made up of a combination. So with that option in ModbusRtuSlave, you can simulate all those different register values that are available out there. Hope that was useful to you. Thank you for watching.